recording, and Talia has just absolutely fucked with my system. I normally sit on that side, but you like to sit on that side. This is your good side.
It is.
I actually haven't figured out my good and bad side yet. Obviously you have.
Yeah, look, I spent a lot of time in front of the mirror.
That's a,
so
that's a
I
good
think
side.
You start to learn.
Yeah, you start to learn.
Strengths and weaknesses.
I'm going to have to spend a bit more time in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Talia Fowler, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everyone.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, so how you been?
Very busy,
Yeah.
but amazing.
Busy
Yeah.
and amazing.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Yeah.
So tell me what busy is. What have you been doing? What's busy? Tell me what your week's been
Busy
like.
for me is a bit of everything because I span over a few aspects of the entertainment industry. So my coaching is a big part of my life at the moment, and that started ever since I had a really bad injury about 2.5 years ago.
What was that?
I shattered a sesamoid bone in my foot.
Damn.
It's a super tiny bone, but
I've never heard of it, yeah.
Yes, but I shattered it to the point where it died, so it's not there anymore. So there was no recovery for it. It was literally just
Right.
learning to deal with the pain.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Just always up on your toes?
Well, I worked a lot with people, with therapists who work with amputees. It's weird. It's a very long story. But I worked with mirror boxes. So
Right.
I tricked my brain into thinking that my right foot was my left and pain-free.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
It's crazy.
Right, so you
Yeah.
okay. So
So-
what, you did heaps of stuff with you visually seeing,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so not moving that foot at all, doing things like 200 rises about 3 times a day and not moving or touching this leg at all and only watching this foot in the mirror, and it tricks your brain into thinking that that's...
Holy shit.
It's crazy.
I didn't even
but
know
it
you
works.
could do that.
Yeah.
Man, mine's a
some crazy
powerful
things.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it. So where did you find that?
When I first got injured, I was chatting a lot to Kelly Abbey.
Yeah.
She's dealt with a lot of injuries, and the first option that was given to me was surgery. And I wanted to try to avoid that because I didn't want to go through the possibility of losing range. Because
Right.
for me, for my feet, that's obviously the main thing that I use for my dancing.
Yeah.
So I'm on point shoes. So I didn't want to lose any range there. So I looked into other therapies and I spoke to a lot of different physios and just basically tried everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got it kind of through a physio. Physio said, hey, let's jump in front of a mirror.
Yeah, there's this some really great people who work with the Aussie Ballet. So I worked
Yeah.
particularly with people who work with ballet dancers because
Yeah.
they understood where my foot needed to stay, obviously like on the floor.
Yeah.
So I did that. I had cortisone injections as well.
How did that? I've had cortisone in my back and I thought I was a new man.
It was amazing.
It worked for you?
So good, but it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like the dude might have missed, and
Yeah,
I
right.
felt great for 24 hours, but that was just the numbing.
Oh, right.
So I was teaching that night, and I was like, bang, back in second, doing all this shit, and then jumping from the corner, and I was like, I'm back, and then
Yeah.
next morning I was gone.
You
So
know, it worked for me well. So I had a month period where they said we've got to see if it actually helps with the pain.
and what's
It's a
this
good
therapy
walk.
called? What's it called again? Like when you get the mirror box, is it just called?
I don't know if there's an official word, but I worked with people who work with amputees.
Right.
So it's basically someone who may have lost an arm
Yeah,
during
yeah.
a work accident and they get phantom pain.
Yeah.
So they still feel, and certain smells will bring it on. It really
Damn,
strange. I was
bizarre.
chatting
I really
to
want to
someone.
look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone lost their arm working at a bakery.
Yeah.
And the smell of bread triggers pain.
Oh, that
to
poor
what was-
bastard.
it's horrible to
God,
think
you
about
wake up in the
happening.
morning, have toast, and you're gone.
Yeah, like it's just really bad. So, but just so interesting to see the power of the mind and what that can do. And I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I've been trained that way my whole life. That's ballet training, basically not
Yeah.
thinking about what you're putting your body through.
Yeah.
And-
Because ballerinas, you guys just kill your bodies.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you look stunning doing it,
Yeah.
but man,
That's the idea, to make people think it's not.
have you always done ballet? Like,
That was my main thing. When I was little, I did ballet, tap, and jazz, but that's it. Like there was no lyrical or anything like that.
no.
And ballet was always my number one.
Yeah.
That was always my main thing, and I was very good at it. So I think because I had people saying you're really good, I was just encouraged to go through
Yeah.
with it, you know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so there was a natural ability, and felt good, so you just kept riding with it.
Yeah.
What studio was you at? The same studio the whole way through? Did you hop around? What
Same
did you do?
studio. I was at a studio in Brisbane called Steps Dance Centre, and I was there till I was 15. But at the studio, because through your ballet training, through most studios, you basically just do syllabus work. It's like if it's RAD, ATOD,
Yeah.
Cicchetti, Vaganova, like there's a lot of different syllabuses. But my studio, because of my talent, and they kind of saw that, and I have a lot of drive, a lot of focus, so they wanted to basically make every opportunity possible for me. So they allowed me to go and do workshops with different people. They would bring in different people to work at the studio with me, with open classes, professional programs with ballet companies. The Australian Ballet has one, the Queensland Ballet has one. So I did all of that stuff, which is a go-to for every young ballet dancer.
Yeah.
It's kind of making those connections with hopefully people who are going to employ you
Yeah.
in the future. And
That's good.
yeah, so they kind of helped bring
That's just
everyone
your
to
open
me.
class. You're just
That's why.
So
I
they brought
started
them all
doing
to
mine.
you.
That's it.
Is that something they previously did, or were they just like, well, we got a little Talia Fowler on our hands here.
Yeah,
We gotta.
I think it depends on the studio, and even studios now, if they feel like they have someone who can benefit from it, that's when they'll bring someone in.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to lose that student.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, so they go, what can we do to help make this student be as successful as possible?
Yeah.
Which, if that's an outside person bringing them in and providing that opportunity, it's going to build everyone else up in that field as well. And that's what I've seen through my classes too. If there's been one student who is then really risen up through that genre, through my classes, it then inspires other students in the younger levels to do the same thing.
To get going.
Yeah.
And are you, so people audition for this?
For my program?
For your program?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just because I kind of briefly know, just because I follow you and all that,
Yeah.
but obviously I'm not an aspiring ballerina, so
Mm-hmm.
there's a little part I kind of switch off on. But you've got a really kind of focused program at the moment where you're working with up and coming technicians.
Yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say it's exclusive though for a certain caliber.
Yeah.
I think it's more so I audition to make sure that your mentality is correct.
Right.
So that everyone in that class has the same work ethic. I think that's what's more important.
Is this over a time, do you do it over 10 weeks, or is it just like an ongoing thing?
It's a per term type of thing, so that if you have a competition season, you can drop out if you need to.
Sure.
But most students stay in for the whole year.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And they're from dance studios and then they do your stuff on top, or is this their sole training?
No, they do a bit of everything. So
Bit of
this would
everything.
then be, because most students will end up going somewhere else to do an extra lot of training,
Yeah.
extra technical training, and so it's me providing that for them in a space that's kind of controlled.
Yeah.
So teachers from other studios know where their students are, who they're training with, that it's non-threatening as well. It's a completely open class, so it's not trying to start a dance school and have these students solely with me.
Yeah.
It's just providing this experience where they can come to, first of all, be inspired
Yep.
in a room where it's about technical training, but
Are you the only teacher?
only teacher.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
just me.
Yep.
Because I think the branding is me
Yeah. No.
with that, so it's not like I could really get someone else
You'd
in.
be unreal for people to look up, in the ballet world, for sure.
But somewhere else it's a bit non-threatening for them
Yeah.
as well. I want to make sure it's encouraging.
How are you as a teacher?
I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you, so you don't really rehearse them for routines or anything like that. You're really just focusing on the craft.
Mostly. I do a few routines. I'm pretty exclusive with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I do audition quite severely for that stuff.
Yeah.
So it would end up being 6 dances. Or if I'm doing with a full-time course, I'll really look at, auditioning and
I suppose
having my-
you wouldn't really have the lazy kid that kind of ticks you over because you're...
I don't experience it, so I don't have a lot of those bad
You've got all the good
experiences.
kids. You've got all the good ones.
Yeah,
So-
yes, I'm pretty lucky in that way, so I'm always left with those.
Do you teach, outside of this nice little bubble that you've created for yourself?
Look, I do on rare occasions, but I think I've worked hard enough to make sure that I bring, if I use the word echelons, of students to me that are going to suit me.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty lucky, because I hear these horror stories from other teachers going, I can't handle this kid, and I just don't have
just
that
don't get
experience.
it.
Or maybe...
Or you might get it, but yeah.
I think mostly though, I might have the same student, but they just don't act that way with me.
With you.
Maybe I don't give them that opportunity
Yeah.
to go into
But also,
that.
they're going there with like a certain mindset as well. Like
Yeah.
they know that they've, had a little audition for this. They know who they're working with, so they're like,
Yeah.
I'm here to work. I'm not here to catch up with my friends. Like
That's
no one
it.
came to you for social reasons.
You know.
No one came to you because Jenny came here as well, and we're going to go together.
Yeah, and I really don't give them that opportunity either.
Yeah.
Like it's constant working on
Yeah.
being perfect.
So how many days a week are you doing this?
I do this now interstate as well.
Right.
So I do it in Queensland and New South Wales.
So every week you're on a plane.
Every week I'm on a plane. So 3 days a week I'm interstate.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How's that?
that's it's good.
Yeah?
It's good. It's hard to fit in.
You feel busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially with my own rehearsals, but what I like about it, it's a schedule.
Mm.
So it is easier to slot things in because I have that set each week.
And you're the boss, so you can kind of make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
And
good.
like we've worked together many times. So how's that type of thing going? Because I mean, you wouldn't really need to whack on winner of So You Think You Can Dance anymore. Like people kind of know you as your name
Yeah.
kind of. Like, is that still something you put on like a poster or something like
No,
that?
I never have.
No?
Which is weird. But I have 2 different resumes. I have
Right.
one for commercial and I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
one more for
Yeah.
company type of stuff. But I think I've been so clear with my branding throughout the years that people kind of see my name and then understand exactly what comes with that.
Yeah.
And so you think probably deters like
past a bit,
yeah.
I feel like
just
you're a
don't think it
different
really-
person now. That
I
Talia,
feel like a
that-
different
that-
person.
yeah.
Hopefully I'm a different
So
person.
what happened? Because like you, like physically, you're always a strong dancer.
Yeah.
But I look at you now and what you were at. So you think they're 2 different people.
As they should be though. I was
Yeah.
18 when I did the
Right,
show.
okay.
So I was super young.
Yeah.
And I had trained in ballet.
Yeah.
I had gone straight into a ballet company. I'd been there for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's all I'd done.
Right.
So I hadn't experienced anything else.
Anything.
No contemporary, edgy,
Right.
nothing. So I had no other outside influence for my
Yeah.
work or my training or my personality or anything. So I think that was then the catalyst for me to launch into becoming more of what I felt my identity was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're very confident and there's like a great style about you. Where does this come from? Like where?
US.
US?
The US, yeah.
Right,
So
okay.
after So You Think, I did a musical for a year. So I stayed around just to keep my name going
Yep,
in
yep.
the city. And then I moved to San Francisco.
Right.
So I started dancing with a company there.
It's a great
and
city, that, isn't it?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it. And the training there was very raw and stripped down, but it made me understand where I sit and what I don't like. I think that's more important
Why
for
did
me.
you go there to learn? If you like,
I
cause
went there for a job, so I had
Oh,
a
you went there for a
contract.
job.
I had a
Okay, cool,
contract,
cool.
Yeah. So I went there with that purpose. I was going to live in the city, but I went, and I don't think I had an ulterior motive. I just went there to work with the company, but I knew that company was the type of dancer I wanted to be, and I think being around the dancers and the director pushed me to sometimes experience what I didn't like,
Yeah.
and that would force me into what
Yeah.
I kind of want to be.
Yeah.
But it just made me more creative,
Right.
I
Okay.
think. And I got older growing up in a really amazing
Yeah,
city.
you grew up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and I
living
didn't
in
have
San Fran.
family around me.
Yeah.
No friendships or anything like that that were from previous experiences. So everything was brand new.
Yeah.
I think there's something really powerful about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you like socially? Are you like? Do you have a group of friends away from dancing that you kind of hang out with, or are you just
yeah.
that busy you can't even get a coffee with someone?
Yeah, I'm that person who people will try to catch up with for weeks and weeks, and it just never happens.
Right.
I had someone ask me literally yesterday, and I said, I can lock you in for the first week of October. And she said, that's a problem.
Jesus
like,
Christ,
we can't
that's bad.
schedule. But that's like,
That's just who you are.
yeah.
That's
But
just
I'm
your
also a
makeup.
complete introvert.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not a super social person.
No.
But that comes with ballet training.
Yeah.
So we don't talk. Like it's
Just
not,
crazy discipline. Hey.
yeah. So it's weird for me in social situations sometimes, but
Yeah, because I see you sometimes on gigs and you don't say a word.
No.
You literally just sit there.
because it's work. I'm
Yeah.
just like there, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking about that. Or
God, I need to get a bit of that. I treat
Yeah.
it more. I'm way too social sometimes.
no, it's like sometimes
You know,
I
no, I'll
wish,
switch
yeah,
on, but you know what I mean.
yeah. Sometimes I wish I had a little bit more openness in
Yeah.
that stuff, but at the same time, like my work fulfills me so much that I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens. Like if I find time, I'll come and chat to
one of
you
these.
guys and
Yeah.
chat to you, and
Yeah.
I absolutely love doing it, but it's not my priority
Yeah.
as a
That's good.
as a person for what I need in
Yeah.
life. Some people really need that support and friendship and things, and I've just grown up not needing it.
So you're like hammering the career at the moment and
Yeah.
doing really well.
Yeah.
What are your goals at the moment? Is it like financial goals? You need to see X amount, or I need to save this much, I need to earn this, or is it something you want to achieve with the school? What are you working towards then? Because I'm sure this is
Yeah.
probably something that... Well,
Yeah. It's for me, at the moment I'm living more in the present.
Yeah,
so
cool.
they're very short-term goals.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's what's on this weekend,
Yeah, great.
get that done.
Yeah.
What's on next weekend, get
Well,
that done.
I'm kind of doing that now,
Yeah.
really, like very, very short-term goals, because you just feel better. I found the goals, I had great goals,
Yeah.
but they were so goddamn big.
Yeah,
They were
it's too big
huge.
and too far away, and then there's
then
too
I
many
was just,
steps
and then
to
you get
to
real
there.
down, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
But I feel past 6 months since I've just made this switch, it's great. So you're doing something pretty similar.
Yeah, and that works for me. And with everything being so tightly scheduled, I think it's easier for me to see it that way and maybe
Yeah.
keep on track with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you had the technical training growing up, so your thing happened, hung around for a little bit. What was that Fame you did?
Fame.
Yep,
Yeah.
Fame.
Yeah.
Did Fame, San Fran, you're back.
San Fran, Montreal, New
Right.
York City,
Right.
then back.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you stopped off at those little
So that
cities.
was 5
Was-
years.
Oh, were you gone for 5
I
years?
was gone for 5 years.
That's where you were. Right.
I was actually gone. I wasn't even here. But I'm always in the US. You have summer, so summer is an off season, and it's a long off season. It's like 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
So what happens is you have your contract, and then during the summer you go on contract somewhere else.
Mhm.
And what I would do is I would come home. So when people see you for that time, they think that you've kind of just always been here.
Yeah.
But I would literally just pop back in and then head back over.
Because you're kind of touching on, you're a bit of an introvert. Sometimes
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if you look on you social media wise,
You know.
I got no idea.
No.
I know I went to audition for your ballet course, that's about it. I got no idea what you're up
I
to.
know.
I kind of love that though, that's cool. I like
Yeah.
seeing people who are successful and, they just let people see what they kind of need to see.
Yeah, I think I like when my work speaks for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't do much else. Like, there's not much else to document.
That's
really.
cool.
It's just my work. But I use social media for my work
Yeah.
mostly. That's what I see it as. I'm not a big social media person.
Mm.
I'm notoriously hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Super hard.
Yeah.
Because I just don't use Facebook for
That.
socializing or that, or I don't post anything, and I'm quite
Yeah.
private with everything.
I mean, I've started pushing the podcast a little bit more.
Yeah.
But again, other than that, I'm just basically putting up cool photos of like videos of dogs or something like that I've seen.
Yeah.
It's nothing actually me
That's it.
out there. So
Well, I
that's
think,
cool.
Yeah, for me, there's a power in that as well, and I like having a conversation with someone and for them to say, what have you been up to?
Yeah.
There's some people that I see, and I'm like, I already know
Yeah.
everything you've been
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
You know?
I see your shit all the time. I don't.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think there's something exciting about when you catch up with someone and you're actually
Yeah.
then talking to them and you find out what they've been doing.
Yeah. If I look at your commercial stuff,
Yeah.
do you feel like you're a little bit kind of pigeonholed, that we think, Talia, if we need like a ballet dancer, because I know I've seen you do heaps of other shit,
Yeah.
not just ballet. Are you kind of happy now being the ballerina on the commercial gig, or
I
is
worked hard to get
you
that.
work hard to get that? So that was a goal of
That
yours.
was a goal. So there was
Yeah.
a few years where I would do bits and pieces and I would back up dance for people
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. And I'm not one to sit in the pack.
Mm.
I like to be the star. I don't like the soloist. That's where I'm more comfortable.
Love that.
Yeah, so me as a part of a troupe or as a part of a four,
Because that doesn't feel right.
no, doesn't feel right to me. So I think for me, I wanted to be employed for me.
Yeah.
for exactly what I do. So sometimes not even as a ballet dancer, but for specifically what I am as a ballet dancer. So if someone wants a ballerina in a tutu, usually they won't come to me. But if they want a ballerina who's a bit edgier to do something a little bit different, then they come to me. So because of that strong branding, it then means that, because I'm self-managed at the moment, even agencies, if they have a brief come through, they'll send it through to me because they understand that that is my branding and that's what I can deliver. So I end up getting more consistent work and work that's tailored to me.
Yeah.
Which I think I got to a point where I just didn't want to become, because I'm a chameleon, I can become a whole lot of different things.
Well, you're well trained and...
Yeah,
you know.
so, and that's one of my strengths, because I can see someone in front of me and become that.
Yeah.
That's what So You Think was.
Yeah.
It was do whatever you don't do well.
Yeah.
And so if someone's in front of me, I can mimic them and become that dancer.
That must seem like a lifetime ago.
I actually have this weird blackout period in my head. I don't really remember it.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Because
that was when you were season 2?
Season 2.
Yeah.
That's it, 2009.
Yeah. God, man, that's gone way back.
Yeah.
And that was when it was still, like, people watched it, you know?
It was big.
Like, it was
huge. It was really big. That was, even because I know you were chatting to Tanos about it as well. Yeah. We were on the same season together.
Yeah.
And we were pretty close, and going out and walking on the streets. And for me, I'm like girl next door, just average, very, general looking. But when you're walking around with someone like Tanos or Timomatic or Danny, a friend of mine, a contemporary dancer who had a mohawk at that time. So everyone had these recognizable features.
And then there was Talia.
Yeah, for me, most of the time I just get, I've worked with you before, I've seen you somewhere, or it's a recognizable face, but they don't really know where from, that type of thing. But yeah, it was a crazy time, but just so much happened at that one time. We did a national tour. I also had no footage of any of that stuff.
Really?
There was no Instagram. My phone did not have a camera on it back then.
Really?
No, I had like a Telstra, like a Nokia. Nokia something that you could throw and it would bounce. It, like, it was just that time.
Yeah, true. It wasn't around then. Hey?
I would be outside these tours signing posters for 2 hours.
Damn.
Things like the most incredible experiences.
Doesn't happen anymore,
and I have no footage of it.
Actually, I remember seeing those. There was a big photo at Urban Dance Centre. There was like all of you in a row and you all signed it. Do you know that photo?
Yes, I do. I've actually seen it. Yeah, there's a dance shop in Brisbane that has one as well. I have one too that the show gave to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must honestly though look at yourself and be like, I kind of don't know who that chick is.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
And even if you just walking down the street though, like your makeup and what you have now, that's different as well though.
Yeah. But it comes with age. It just comes with knowing. Yeah, I think so. It just comes with knowing yourself. And at that time, I really didn't. I had no clue. Yeah. Because my training was so structured. And I work with a director, so you're told what to do. So yeah, there was just no individuality whatsoever. So I just didn't.
And the reason why I'm touching on this, because I forget who I was chatting to. I was chatting to someone, they're like, oh, who you got next on the podcast? I'm like, I'm chatting to Talia, trying to get her on. She's a busy girl. She's a busy girl, but I hope I could get her on. And then they Googled you, and then this So You Think photo came up. And they went, is that her? I went, holy fuck, no, that's not her.
I know.
That's the only reason why I was just like, wow.
You don't look back, I say.
Don't look back. No, I'm with you.
I swear, that's like 18-year-olds now don't look like what 18-year-olds did back then.
Oh man, 15-year-olds don't look like what they did.
Because social media, we now don't have to wait for trends to get here. We see the same stuff that's happening in the US and Europe at the same time. Because of social media. Yeah, it's all posted at the same time. So everyone's knowledge in fashion, in trends, in makeup artistry, in just in terms of looks grooming, and things like that, is more broad now. And so I just didn't have access to any of that.
Do you touch on any of this type of stuff when you teach? Because I feel like with a lot of students that I teach, I push at them very much how you dress and your son, I think, is a great role model on how you should look when you're rocking up to a gig, when you're rocking up to a rehearsal. Just, I feel like if I ran into you, I'd never go, damn, Talia's not looking bad. Like, it's just
I wouldn't allow that to happen.
Exactly, you wouldn't allow that to happen. So do you teach that? Because I feel like that is such a quality people need to have.
Yeah, I don't teach it, but it always ends up being asked in the classes. So
Okay.
I always do give guidance and
Yeah.
support in that. So
Yeah.
it's not something I openly say I'm going to teach this,
Well, what are
but
they-
students look for it. They really do.
So what are they asking? Like, is this
It's-
important, or
I think
what should I
it's-
wear? Do you like this top? What do they say?
It's mostly the fact because I think when I see most teachers around, they don't take pride in that, and it's a completely individual thing. It's not something that you have to. But I know for me, I'm at my best when I feel like I'm put together. That's just me as a person.
Yep.
And so I think then other dancers or students see that confidence and want that.
Yeah.
So then they see the appearance and go, okay, so maybe it's that.
Maybe it's that.
Give us some guidance in. I think it's more so like everyday put together type
Can
of
it
stuff.
can it be taught, or is it just you just?
I think it's more so, I think it's got to be a priority for you. For some people, it's not.
Yeah.
It's more like how you're feeling on the inside. Doesn't matter about the outside appearance. But for me, maybe it's a ballet dancer thing of looking in the mirror 24/7. But the outside appearance affects me internally as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I'm put together and it just affects me internally as well.
Yeah.
So
I love that, Chad. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think, and also we're in an arts industry where first thing we look at before you open your mouth, I'm looking at you.
and there's judgment in that, and I think people are silly if they don't think that that's
If you
part
ignore
of
it,
you know, and
Yeah.
like it doesn't mean you have to look a certain way. It's just making sure that you're owning however you look.
how you're feeling.
You know,
yeah.
So for me, I think when I teach, then the questions come up with the students saying, "How do you do this?" or "Can you give us a quick makeup lesson?" or "What are you using here?" or I don't know. There's always random questions.
There's always stuff like that.
Yeah, but it does come up quite a lot.
Yeah, and so and you'd have a pretty wicked wardrobe now that I'm thinking about
Yeah,
all
it's pretty
this.
good.
Is it big? Do you have a lot of shit, or are you pretty? You've got some great staples and.
No, I have a lot of
Yeah?
stuff. Yeah, so I actually picked my mum up from the airport last night.
Hey,
She's
Talia's
in town.
mum.
Hi, Mum. And she came over. She hadn't seen my place at all. And the first thing she was like, "You've just got so much stuff." I've got too much stuff. It's
As in what material, or just like? Because you'd be pretty tidy, wouldn't you?
yeah, super tidy,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just
yeah.
I have a lot. So
Just
like
got a lot of stuff.
and I live by myself. I have a 1-bedroom apartment, and it's big enough. Like I
Yeah.
can put everything everywhere, but I just have
A lot.
a lot.
That's
I have a
cool.
lot. But yeah.
So what's
I
mum?
enjoy
Is
it.
mum going around throwing stuff out? What's
No,
she
she
like?
just thinks like I'm not one to cull, because when I buy things, I buy something that is an investment piece, something that's going to last. So I don't need
Yeah.
to cull. I don't go
Yeah.
through things.
I feel like
So-
I need a cull, but there's some stuff that there is no way, like stuff that
Yeah.
I know that, because people go, oh, why'd you buy that where you could get it so cheap, you could get it for this price. I'm like, but this thing's going to last me forever.
That's the thing. So that's me as a
Like
person
my
as
coats,
well.
my hats, boots,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and all that. When I don't lose my boots, but yeah, when all that type of stuff. It's when I sorry, we're shooting this outside, and there's some
There's birds
birds just going nuts over there. But anyway, I'm with you on that. You can buy some real kind of staple pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, and you just hang on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
cool.
I enjoy that stuff. That's if I was going to have one hobby, that I said I have a hobby, which is bad, but it's shopping. I get dressed up. This is something I used to do in New York. I used to get dressed up and go and walk down Fifth
How good is it?
Avenue.
You can just get dressed up.
I loved it. And people, like, even at the airport, I came back from the airport the other day and I went straight to teaching.
Yeah.
And the students were like, how, like, I go to the airport in a tracksuit. How are you dressed like that? I'm like, I don't know. It makes me feel good. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's just always been something that I like spending time doing.
Yeah.
And
That's great. I love
it
it.
is a bit of that, you know, that experience in Pretty Woman, but after she's had the makeover. And she goes shopping and everyone's...
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that I really love.
Yeah,
So
amazing.
I love going into the city and doing that. And there's a little walk that I take past the fountain. in
Yeah,
Hyde
I was
Park.
about to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I can walk past there from my place.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
it's really quick to get there, and
Yeah.
that's as
It just
close
feels
to that
good
New
when you're
York
in, like,
lifestyle.
yeah.
San Francisco was the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't drive anywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere was super close. And it's always really interesting because when I was out, San Francisco is the tech
Very
place of
tech-savvy,
the world. So I
Google
would
and all
meet
that,
these
yeah.
incredible people who were like,
Yeah.
yeah, I run this division at Google.
Yeah.
So when you Google this, that's me.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Some crazy stuff.
Yeah. So I really enjoy doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what's happening with these birds over here. It's nuts. So, so extremely, you're very strong, well styled, well experienced as well. But who's influencing you? Because I know there'd be a lot of girls and even probably guys that are looking at your career and that type of thing, going, that's something that, you know, I'd be very proud if that was my career as well. Who are you looking at? Not in a sense of you like their career, but even just, is it someone that's influenced you since, you know, you're making this more of a home now? Like, who's influencing you at the moment?
It's really hard to pinpoint one person.
Well, you can name a few. Don't worry, I've got a ton of people who I look up to.
It's everyone. I find inspiration through anyone and everyone. Inspiration through you and what you're doing with this. I think just having... I'm inspired by people who understand their strengths and push that.
Yeah.
Or consistently work on it, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Someone like Misty Copeland.
Okay.
Who's a ballet dancer who has a great business sense.
Right.
So when she walks into class, she walks in like she owns the studio.
Yeah.
She just has this thing about her.
That.
You know, I was around that, and so I was like, that's the dancer that I want to be. There's a power to that.
Yeah.
I think as a female, and as quite a small ballet dancer, quite demure type of female as well, I like feeling powerful in that way. And it can come from a very subtle place, but I feel that when I walk into a room from certain people, and that's what I want to give off as well.
Yeah.
Mark Byrne was a big influence for me. He was my manager years ago before he passed.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with him talking over. He did a lot of development on people.
Yeah.
He created a lot of music artists and celebrities.
He was really the only one that was really looking after these celebs and giving them true direction. There's a lot of lost souls out there at the moment where they still haven't found their feet since he passed, which is really sad to see. Because, I don't see a lot of development in celebrities at the moment. Like, I haven't heard of a new, fresh name coming out of Australia.
Yeah, very true. Most of them have been, even Ruby Rose was with Mark for years. And I mean, she's just done amazingly well overseas. But there was a lot of work back here in Australia to build her up, and a lot of years went in to that, even for her. So, not recently. But
how long has it been since Mark's passed? What's that? You reckon 4 years?
I should know this. 5 or 6, I would say.
Really?
At least that,
Yeah. Because I even had some great kind of connections with him as well. I mean, I was always been with PJ, he found me and that type of stuff, but my parents were quite close with Mark as well.
Yeah.
I remember just around times of my, I couldn't find my feet in the modelling world, and we just had a chat with Mark going, what do I do? So, he was a good man. He was a good man. He was a hard worker too.
Super. I
know he pissed off a lot of people as well.
Yeah, but he was
just a passionate dude.
Yeah, and he would say that because he's like, I need to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So he's like, you need that buffer. Because even for me, through business, it's very hard to push your worth for yourself. So I think it's hard. Sometimes it's much easier if you've got an agent. Because I'm self-managed and I have to experience this for myself, if you have an agent to say, this is his fee.
Yeah.
Or he's not able to do it unless this is involved.
Yeah.
But for me, I have to do that on my own.
Yeah, you're both.
Yeah, and so Mark's whole thing was, I need to be that person, which I understand. Sometimes it's much easier to have buffer in there.
Yeah.
And so he took a lot. But that's what that job is, you know?
Yeah, and you know, he probably would have got you financially a few more dollars here and there, like in that moment. Like, How do you go managing yourself when it comes to, so you get a brief comes in and you get a fee and you're looking at that fee going, wouldn't even get me out of bed. How do you approach that? Are you a bit of a, do you go back with counters, or are you just kind of like, I don't think I'm your right person, I'm happy to refer you to more people? How's all that?
I think it depends on the job as well. So I'll I don't keep it consistent across all jobs. It's really going to depend on the job.
Specific.
Yeah. So there's some that I'll kind of understand and accept that would be their highest offer that they would have. And so then I just decide whether that's something that will, in some ways, allow me to be compensated even if it's not financially.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to get out of this? Is that going to be worth taking that day off work for coaching maybe to do that? So there's some things that are worth that. And I go, yes,
100%.
you know what, I'm going to do this because it's going to be a trip overseas and the choreographer is someone that I want to experience, something like that. So then I'll allow the fees to probably be lower than I would like.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll counter and say, look, you know what, at the moment that's not covering what my daily rate
My
would
time
be.
and all that. Yeah.
Are you able to bring it up to this?
Yeah. I feel like dancers need to know how to converse with people on a business sense.
Yeah.
And I just don't know, I don't know enough of what Marco's teaching in the show business stuff, but I just don't think the amount of even full-on pro dancers who are in Jeep, in Grey Boy, and they just need to talk to their agent. So they're actually already in it. They don't know how to converse with their agent without pissing them off.
Yeah.
And I get so many messages, what do I do? And I'm literally just teaching people how to be nice and how to get a point across.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
I think, but for me, it was part of my training. So I took elocution classes when I was younger. So I learnt how to speak in a media sense.
Yeah.
So, and this was part of the ballet company because I was young, I used to go on shows like Toasted TV and Totally Wild and
Did you?
Yeah, so
I loved that stuff. Toasted TV, that was great.
It was really good because I was the youngest in the company by quite a few years.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like their younger generation representative.
I need to find this on YouTube.
Oh,
I want to see
no.
Talia Fowler on Toasted TV.
It's probably really awkward. But it just allowed me to understand how to talk to people.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I'm pretty easy to work with in terms of, I definitely demand a professional atmosphere in terms of I need to know what's going on. I need a schedule. I need to know what time the studio's open, if I need to warm up. And just because I always want to be at 100%, I don't want to ever be seen under.
Yeah.
I don't want to perform under.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh no, big time. Your preparation for jobs. I'll sometimes sit there and I'm looking at you warm up. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't done that shit for like ever.
I know.
I don't think I ever have done. I think it's really good though because it brings a sense of professionalism to the job. People really respect you for your craft.
Yeah.
And they're not really just looking at you rocking up looking $1 million. They're going, well, she's actually backing it up with some great talent. I hope there are some dancers watching this going, yeah, there's actually a lot more to, just looking, but you still really take care of your body. I mean, that mirror shit you said before was great. Like, you really take pride in still physically being where you need to be. Do you still demonstrate a lot when you teach?
Lot. Yeah. So I feel, when I started coaching, I feel like my technique improved.
Okay.
Because I'm busy picking everyone else apart and then I'm applying it to myself. Yeah, so I feel like my balance just went through the roof. The control over my body. So, like, I improved when I started teaching. Yeah. So, which is incredible. Because I don't think that happens with a lot of people. They feel like they're not training, but I'm training.
I say this, I've never said this out loud, but I say it to my parents a lot. When I started getting better technically probably when I was 21, 22. Like, because I kept correcting kids on stuff that I never did. Yeah. See, my training's completely different to yours. I started when I was like 14 because I was into a girl.
Yeah, right.
I didn't want to dance. Didn't want to dance. So it wasn't my thing. And I just want to hang out with my friends a little bit more. Yeah. I had, do you know Troy Phillips?
Yes, of course.
He was one of my first teachers.
Wow.
And he came into the studio. He was doing Saturday Night Fever at the time, I think. So this is way, way back. And then... he came in and all the girls just started drooling over him. Yeah. And I was just like, who's that guy?
And how can I make this happen?
Yeah, I was just like, he's built. And like, I didn't know he was gay at that time. Like, he was camp as a row of tents. But he didn't look it. Yeah. In my mind at the time anyway. And he was strong. He was a good looking dude. I was just like, damn, who is this guy? Yeah. I'm going to start dancing. Yeah. Yeah, so I had no technique behind me. I used to dance like a cannonball. Give it a go. Yeah. Like, I was like, what are those Russian grunge? Yeah, I'll try that. Bang, and then land on straight legs, and that's why my back's shot, because I just dance like crazy. So I'd sometimes think how I would be as a dancer if I had that technical background, and even as a person, because it changes. Yeah. Yeah. How are your parents? Are your parents quite reserved as well? Or are they a little bit more out there?
No, I don't think anyone's as reserved as I am.
Pretty reserved.
But, yeah, but like they're not super social though, I would say.
Yeah.
They're super hard workers.
Do you have siblings?
I do have 2 younger sisters.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I knew
25 and
yeah.
21.
Okay.
They're very similar to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I follow Bella. Is Bella one?
Bella's one.
Bella, yeah.
So
Is she the middle one?
Bella's the youngest one.
She's the youngest one.
She's the youngest, so she was actually really, she doesn't dance much anymore. She was a really great commercial dancer, not ballet at all.
Okay.
But really like fiery commercial type of stuff.
Okay.
But she is my height.
Right.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm 5'2".
Are you?
Yes, I'm 5'2".
I thought you were taller than that.
No, everyone does, and that's my
Thing.
goal in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one really knows that I'm 5'2". So in a commercial sense, that's very hard to get a job. That's under
Oh, yeah.
height for pretty much everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So unless you are the star and you have that solo quality, or there's a reason for you to be up the front, it's very hard to be part of the pack when you're not the same height.
Yes.
So I think for her, she felt that, definitely. But for me, I was able to supersede that through So You Think.
Yeah.
So my name ended up being more powerful than
Yeah,
that.
at the time, so that got
Yeah.
the ball rolling. But
Yeah.
you're not really one to settle for your height being an excuse for not working.
No, it did affect me at the beginning of my
It
career
did?
in companies, yeah.
Yeah?
Because before you audition, they have a height requirement.
Yeah, 100%.
So I would still turn up, but it just depended on what boys they have. So for me, most of my part of their partners have always been very tall.
Yeah.
Like Andrew, who you would know, Andrew Crawford was my...
I got to get him on the
partner.
podcast. That guy's voice is
my
amazing.
God.
Just so he can say the alphabet and I'll just
my
listen
God,
to him.
you would die.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yes.
Andrew
Anyway,
was with
yeah.
Sydney Dance Company for years.
Yes.
One of the most incredible dancers. I remember the first time I saw him on stage,
Yeah.
and how tall would he be? 6?
He's taller than me. He's like 6'3", I think. 6'3" and a bit.
Just
He
really,
partners
really
you a
tall.
lot, right?
Partners me a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm used to
Oh,
dancing
yeah.
with super tall
Okay, so
guys.
how's that? So, Andrew and Talia, they partner each other a lot. I'll be on the same jobs,
Yeah.
but I don't notice that much of a height difference, and there's over a foot in it.
That's well
'Cause-
over a foot.
Because
Yeah.
he's taller than me, and I'm
Yeah.
6'2", and probably 6'2" and a bit, and he's taller than me, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just in movement. I mean, he has to plie a lot to be able to actually
He
get
needs to
down
work that
and
second.
lift. Yeah, he does have a really good second. But it just works. In movement, it just works. I dance tall because
Yeah, I
I
think
am
your
short.
energy,
I
what you
dance
said,
tall.
you know how you got that from, what was her name,
Misty.
Misty.
Yeah, so it's
That
walking
thing
and having
when
that.
you walk in and people look at you, we don't look at you and go, who's the midget?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Because you're not sure.
Yeah.
I think that, all that type of thing, like you carry yourself amazingly.
Yeah, so I don't think people really notice. But again, it's all
It's how you make
like
it.
I'm doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
That's in there because I do feel when I got into the industry through the TV commercial sense and I was
Yeah.
doing a lot of appearances and red carpets and stuff, a lot of the Aussie celebrities are really tall.
They
so like,
are.
Yeah, like Jacinta Campbell is very tall.
Yeah, she is.
So a lot of those people, and I would be around these girls, and they get that power from their height.
Yeah.
So when they walk into a room, Rihanna, I was at her birthday party years and years ago, and she walked past and she's tall.
Yeah?
Maybe it's because I'm short though.
Yeah.
Could possibly-
But no,
but
you're not
she's
short. Like 5'2"'s not like...
Yeah, no, it's not
4'10".
tiny. It's just she was tall, but
She
she
was
walked
tall.
past, and her strength came from just that height and just her kind of looking like this
Yeah.
at people. So I don't have that. So I had to figure out a way to still give people that same feeling.
Yeah.
Because I like that feeling, but by not like powering over the top of them.
Yeah, I saw this movie last night with Blake Lively in it. It's like, I need to ask a favour or
simple favour.
A simple favour. You would die at her styling in that.
Yeah?
It's just wicked.
Okay.
But she has this thing about her where she just has such confidence in her makeup and her disposition. And
Yeah.
a super down to earth girl too when you look at her interviews and all that.
I really admire that. That's just something
Yeah.
that I've always put weight into. And again, it's each to their own. But for me, as a part of the ballet world, like, you know, back when ballet first started, ballerinas were celebrities. They used to go around and, you know, they'd be on yachts with all the billionaires and be covered in fur and diamonds
dancing
and
big theatres all around the world.
like I just remember there was this old video I used to watch, and it was an old Russian ballerina. She was teaching a class, and she had this cat, and she was stroking the cat, and she was covered in, I don't know, luxurious fabrics, it looked like, and she had diamonds on, and there was just something, I'm like, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
She would have been in her 80s maybe.
And still just
So,
like that woman.
It's just this thing, and I was like, that's the type of ballet dancer I want to be. Just like, I don't know, yeah, there was just something
We need to get you
amazing
a cat.
about it. No, oh my
Are you a
gosh.
cat or a dog person, or are you just neither? You want a parrot in the corner?
No, I'd be a dog person.
You'd
I'm
be a
an
dog. Okay,
unconditional
that's good.
love type
That's
of,
good.
yeah.
I would have turned the camera off if
Yeah,
we
right.
didn't get that.
No, but
That's
I
good.
mean, I like anything that's just fluffy and cute anyway.
Okay, cool.
But
You'd
if
love
I-
Thanos then?
he would die over that comment. I do, he's good.
Yeah, he's great. Oh, so that's good. You're a dog person.
I'm a dog person,
Yeah.
yeah. So if I could, I would have one in a second.
Yeah.
But I'm just
It's
not
too
home
hard.
to feed it.
Yeah.
And I don't have family who live in the same city as me,
Yeah.
so I can't
It's hard.
pawn it off to anyone and say, can you please feed it? It wouldn't survive, so I can't have real
What
plants.
type of
or
dog would you
anything.
get?
Probably something really tiny.
Really small?
Yeah. Really tiny or really big.
Yeah, see, I want someone that's the size of this couch.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
still thinks it's a puppy and just
Yeah.
kind of lays on
That
you.
would be.
and
I think if I had a family, I'd want.
You'd have that.
Yeah, I'd want like that golden retriever. You know, the type
Yeah.
of dog that almost babysits. Not really, but.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah,
so I think
100%.
that would be.
I think that's
kind
like
of
half the pages I follow on Instagram are just golden retriever pages.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah,
Super
I'm with you.
beautiful.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
Yeah, I'd definitely be a dog person, but it doesn't fit my lifestyle at the moment,
Yeah.
which is hard to think about that sometimes. And I know you can make it work if it happens.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
Can't do it.
At the
That's
moment,
alright.
yeah,
Time and
yeah.
a place. Time and
Yeah.
a place. It will come.
That's it.
Miss Fowler, I'm going to wrap this up because I feel like so much good info has come out of your mouth right now, and we need to do this again.
Yes.
And we just need to talk some more because I think you've got a lot to teach people. We need to hear a voice behind you because you've got some amazing stuff to say, and I just don't think we hear from you enough. So yeah, we need to do this again.
I would love